up, guys? The Hill Twins are here.
Hey guys,
we have Eric today. He's gonna be heading on his leader that he piloted for his second place championship invite at our prelims here in New York. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to him. Go ahead, bro.
Hey guys, what is up? So as you guys know, I took second place in the preliminary event with my boy Hirudegarn. He is very well alive, especially in this meta, given the fact that a lot of decks are playing on the edge. So he gets to exploit that. On the front side, when he attacks a leader card, you discard a battle card to draw 2 cards, and then he awakens, untaps 2 energy, and then he attacks, draw 1 card on his awakened side. But the most powerful effect is when you got 4 energy, you get to place 1 card. They get to place 1 card on the top of their deck. So this is going to be a red-blue version, and we're going to try to exploit some of the main decks in this format with this deck in particular. So for starters, we play 4 Intensifying Power Trunks. This is the main red card of the deck. You want to make sure that you mulli for this card. Basically, when he attacks, I take a life, and he gains crit. But we want to make sure that we're preserving our life, especially in this deck. We want to make sure, because we have a card in here that is going to be one of the main cards of the deck. We play 3 Saiyan Kabas. This card, when he attacks, you take a life and he gains double strike. He's both an early game card and a late game card. Lots of times I usually don't try to show him off to the opponent if in fact I know that they're going to be awakening really early on their own accord, because he gets to punish them for that. Yeah. We play 1 Unyielding Spirit Trunks. It's just Unyielding Spirit Trunks. When you combo with him, he untaps an energy. It's going to be very useful in this deck. Next, we play 4 Hoi, one of the best super combos in the game. I mean, just one of the best super combos in the game for this deck in particular, right after the Chain Attack Xeno. Next, we play 3 East Power Kai. This is our double strike for the deck. Largely the deck wants to just inflict a lot of damage to the opponent and then exploit them by Chain Attack Xeno. Next, we play 3 Burst Attack Son Gohan. This is one of the main cards we utilize after Chain Attack Xeno. He's a 15k crit, and he draws 2 cards when you have 4 or less cards in your hand. One of the big boys of the deck, which is our Digging Deep Vegeta. One of the things I said about utilizing life, with him in particular, he's a very powerful one-man army. He gets to attack twice. He becomes a 20k, and you get to awaken. So one of the reasons is we really don't want to always attack with him, because we want to be able to Chain Attack Xeno them as efficient as possible. So he comes out and you get to utilize your life just to deal crazy amounts of damage, teamed up with East Hidden Power Kai. Next, our 4 Chain Attack Trunks. What is a Chain Xeno deck without your boy Chain Attack Trunks? This card is actually very powerful in this meta, because if I don't want to go to the root Chain Attack Xeno on turn 2, I can put and play him over him, and maybe put and play Digging Deep or him, apply massive amounts of pressure, and he gets to attack active battle cards. So that's very powerful in today's meta, where you see a bunch of Height of Mastery, Path to Greatnesses, and all types of cards of that sort. Next, guys, we play 4 Unbreakable Super Saiyan Son Goku. This is just our pseudo combo for the deck. It's red, and it allows us to combo draw a card. One of the big boys of the deck, right after Chain Attack Xeno, is going to be our Foreseeing Hit. Foreseeing Hit is just, I can't express how important he is. Dropping him back to back, awakening on turn 4 after dropping him and untapping 2 energy. It's just so powerful. I mean, he's one of the most powerful cards in the game. And this deck gets to exploit that, right, with this card, Chain Attack Xeno, which is Xeno, the playing guard. As you guys know, when he comes into play, he negates all other battle cards' effects, and then your opponent shuffles their hand and all cards in the battle area into their deck and draws 5. This is absolutely amazing against barrier cards, absolutely amazing against Chain Brawly, and all other decks. Even Kid Cool, you punish them from having such a big amount of hand on turn 2 and 3. It's just so powerful. People generally forgot about this card, and this card punishes just about every deck in the meta. Next, guys, for our overall, we played 2 Scientist Fool. Scientist Fool is just a big guy right after Chain Attack Xeno. Even before, you want to be able to inflict massive amounts of damage to your opponent, just at the premise that we're going to actually Chain Attack Xeno them afterwards. So you can see sometimes investing a lot of combo power into attack right before the Chain Attack Xeno, so the opponent can take that damage and ultimately lose that value that they gain. For our extra cards, Force into Beans, staple, 4-dimension magics. This is really good after Chain Attack Xeno or hit tapping out. You want to be able to protect your life and protect your battle cards. Next, guys, we got one Mafuba. The 1-up in the deck is just a 1-up specifically because when you catch it, you keep it against just about every deck in this meta. We did take out the M2 for the Mafuba. We was playing 2 M2s, but we just realized that, if you catch one M2, you keep it, especially during the early turns of the games. And yeah, that's just that. Lastly, for our extra cards, guys, we play main board 2 minus Killy Zones. Minus Killy Zone is just going to be very important in this meta, specifically because we're going against yellow Brawly decks and green Brawly decks. So there's and Shilao. So there's a highly affluent amount of leaders that can use Cold Bloodlust and counterplays. So you don't want him to get Crusher Board or Cold Bloodlusted. You definitely don't want this to get Cold Bloodlusted. These are like, very, very, very important cards that once they come into play, they do something. You don't want Xeno to come in Cold Bloodlusted or anything like that. So it's just such a powerful card in this meta. So that is the deck. This is partially what I used to take down the preliminary. I did drop a match. And the deck was a little bit more tailored to the best of 1. However, this is going to be the main board for the best of 3. Sideboard and analysis is coming for our $10 Patreons, guys. Thank you again. Thank you so much for all the support. We really appreciate it. And I encourage you guys to build the deck and test play it. Use it. Cards like Saint Kaba and Intensifying Power Trunks cuts the opponent like butter. I mean, I cannot express how vulnerable Janemba and all these other decks are living on the edge with 4 to 3 life, especially Brawly, guys. If you play against Brawly and you automatically protect yourself turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 with the clap back, you just win. All right, guys, thank you so much. Like always, stay super.